Am I live now? Okay. Hello, my name is Rozalia Singh, and we're going to work on a pretty fun project. We're going to be drawing actually a lion, and the reason why I think it's fun is because a lot of times when we're thinking about drawing, we try to come up with what kind of idea we want to do. And in this case, you can look up the word lion and different images come up. So, and I should actually also tell you a little bit about myself. I am a visual artist. I work with all kinds of different mediums. Paint, I draw, and basically I always explore using different type of materials. So, let's see, can I have you go to this one? Okay, let's turn it this way. Okay, so if you were to look up lion, you're gonna see our lion or lion painting. You might see this image. I'm just showing you from my phone. And I tried to print it from home. There we go. My printer is not working too well, but you can get an idea. I outlined it with a Sharpie so you can see it a little bit better. And the materials we're going to use are permanent markers or Sharpies. In this case, it's a different brand, but still the same as Sharpies, so colored. I always like to keep a black one. We're going to use alcohol. You can get this from any store. It's just your regular rubbing alcohol. In the packet, you would receive some type of Q-tips that has alcohol included in it. So I did bring some of my own Q-tips. And I put the rubbing alcohol, just only a little bit, inside a cup. So I don't know if you can see just a little bit there. Okay. So what I'm going to do, and also your pencil. And this is an 8x10 canvas board. So you can get these pretty cheap. You can get them in packages from the art store. I think you can get them now from any of your, like Walmart, and go to the art section. So this is pretty easy to find. If you don't have a canvas board, I would say a thick piece of paper would work. If it's too thin, it won't work because the markers would start to bleed through the paper. So. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna look at first this image here. And I want you to see some of the shapes. So if we look at the eyes, we have basically our round eyes. We have some whites that goes under the eye. This area right here is white. Also the hair underneath this chin. So those are things to also keep in mind. Some of the shapes here, if you look at the shape of the head, it kind of reminds me of a light bulb. So you need to see where it goes in and make sure you get that shape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to go about making this face shape. And it doesn't have to be perfect because basically the idea is to put it in the eyes, the nose, the mouth, and the chin. And then just working on a mane, and we're gonna play around with that. So here's kind of what, put it upside down. This one right here is kind of doughy-eyed. This is one I did, so using the different markers, and then with the rubbing alcohol, it kind of creates kind of like a watercolor effect. So this is one I did with, I did this for my daughter and a neighbor's child, and I'll show you what they did. So looking at the neighbor's child, he is 10 years old, and he didn't complete it, but, now we can turn it around, sorry. He didn't complete it, But as you can see, you see that shape that we were talking about, that light bulb shape. And then there's my daughter's. Now she is 11, but being my daughter and she's done lots of drawing, she likes to pay attention to lots of detail. And she took her time actually working on this, and so it was past an hour that she was working on the face, and she'll take her time to finish the rest. But that's just how she is. So each of us are different in how we do things. Some of us are fast, some of us are slower, and want to get the details right. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to lay out the face. Now what I do is I use my hand and I divide, this is an 8 by 10, and I divide it in 3 sections. So you can use your hand with the 4 fingers and make a mark for the center. I want to spread it out a little bit because I want the center to be a little bit bigger, so I'll spread out my fingers. And so we have it basically 3 parts. I'm just going to make a really light line. So in order to do that, make sure you touch it very lightly, and you want to make sure you don't have to worry about it being straight, just so that you get the idea. And then to know that you're also working lightly, you should be able to move around pretty quickly, and you can darken it later. Okay, so now we're going to look at where the eyes go. So we're going to use a couple of fingers again. I'm going to use 3 fingers, and I'm just going to make a mark. So basically I'm just going to create like a box here, because I want to make sure that we get the face kind of in this box. Okay, so I'm going to start with the eyes, and we can do it in like circles. I'm actually bringing it over a little bit. You can do it in circles, or if you want the line to look more fierce, let's see if we can zoom in. Is it possible to zoom in some more? There we go. Okay. All right. Okay, so if you can see what we have here. So we can do it as circles for eyes, and I would do it about 2 fingers in size, or a little bit bigger than a finger, because you don't want the eyes to be too small. So that's how you kind of measure it. You know, fingertip for your pointer, it should be around that size. If you want the eyes to look more fierce, you kind of make it more triangular shape. So basically we would create kind of like a triangular shape like that. So it would point in the middle, because if you see, the eyes point here. Okay. Then let's look at this again. We're going to have where this comes out. So basically from where the eyes are, we're going to create kind of I'm going to say like a teardrop. So we're going to come out from where the eyes go in. So if you make a circle, you still have to make this triangular shape right here. Then we're going to make about a teardrop, or some kind of curve. So when I say teardrop, it's basically, you're not going to make the top of it, but it's the bottom of a teardrop. Okay. And we're going to make the nose. So for the nose itself, and then we're going to use, let's look at this again. We're going to look at this shape right here, and it's a heart shape for the nose. So you can make it just like a heart and then change that later. So from there, we're just going to go make a line that goes down. We're also going to make kind of like wings maybe, or horns to our heart. Okay, and then I'm also going to make the bottom of the tip of the eye kind of connect this way. So you can kind of see that. Then we have this bottom part right here where the hair goes out. So we're gonna make that. So we have the mouth, you can kind of color it in with a pencil just so you know that this part is darker. And I'm just gonna curve. So make 2 curves, like kind of like parentheses. And you just kind of can make jagged, kind of zigzag lines for the bottom part. So this is not making it like a perfect lion. This is basically to get the parts of the lion, because you're gonna create the lion your way. If you want it to look more like a lion, then you want to probably take the time and you could lay it out. Another trick, I'm gonna put it back on my face. Okay, so another trick that you could do is you can take like an image that you print from the printer. You can take a piece of copy paper, put it on top, go to a window, the light will shine through, and then you can trace. So then that way you can get the shapes of the eyes, the nose, where everything is at. So that is if you're wanting it to be accurate. That's a good way to do it. That's what all artists do. It's not cheating, even though it may seem like that, but that is not the case. It's not cheating, because what you're gonna do is you're gonna add the details that's gonna make it your own. So don't worry about things being, accurate. Okay, so now we're gonna go back to our drawing. Now I can always change the eye if I want. I want mine to curve up a little bit more, so I'm gonna do that. On the bottom, I'm gonna make it curve also. And I'm gonna put the white part of the eye. So it's just gonna be a line. I also had, the kids kind of make a point coming out for the eyes. And to make it look more fierce, you would bring the pupil of the eye up. And like I said, if you want it to look, a little bit scarier, or not scarier, but a little more fierce, you would bring that part of the eye down. So it's basically, if you think of someone who's mad, you have the eyebrows go down. That's the same with the eyes. Okay, so you make the pupil, and then you could just make an area where it's going to be white. So I'm just going to bring that down a little. All right. You can make that smaller if you want. So however you want to do that. Now, again, if you want to make it more fierce, like I said, you'd bring that down more, and then you would accent this part where it would make it look more mad. So it bringing it down like that makes it look more mad. And having this part like this makes it looks less intimidating. So it's what you want it to look like. Okay, so now we're going to make the lines. That's basically where you would see where the whiskers would come out. So you can kind of make it kind of jaggedy lines. I'm doubling it. So do that quickly. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm just kind of going over the nose. All right. So now the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna look at this shape right here. Remember this light bulb? So we're gonna make like 2 curves that's kind of close to the eye. So as you can see, it's not far out. So you can kind of make it curve like that. There we go. And then something else I want you to see. From that curve, it kind of goes in a little bit. So you might want to accent that a little bit. So we have basically this muscle that's on the face. Okay. And then for the ear itself, we don't have the whole ear because we're zoomed in on the face. So we're just going to make kind of like a triangle here. And just keep in mind that, oh, there's another thing too. Lions have this kind of like peak. We call it a widow's peak. So you might want to put that in there. Okay, so this is kind of what we should have so far. So keep in mind right here we have the circles, we have the points. I'm going to color that in. For the eyes, we have a curve, we have the nose, that's a heart shape, a line that goes down. Okay, so right here, this area might be darker, so you might want to shade it in if you want to. And that just kind of helps you to see the shape. Okay, and I'll do the same for where the ears are. That just kind of helps you to see like, okay, I'm going to make this part darker. And when I'm choosing the color, I will probably use dark colors there. You can use any colors you want, but that will help it so that you can see the shapes. Now let's look at this. We have these nice curves. So it looks kind of like if you were to make a fire stroke, which is basically if you make a curve and then you make another curve into it. That's kind of how the hair is. So you could do it like that, or you can kind of make your own shapes. You can kind of decide that I want to just make random kind of shapes and then color it in. So, and because I want it to look somewhat like hair though, I might decide to, okay, I'm going to curve. The hair comes out from the head, so you want to curve out this way. Okay, so I have that. Now that I have that, I'm going to decide to do it a little bit looser. So I'm going to kind of just do random, I'm not even lifting up my hand. I'm just gonna do random kind of scribbles. So that way it's forcing me to create these like shapes without caring about how it kind of turns out, basically. So either way, it still looks like hair. So let's go back to my daughter's. She outlined the eyes in black, which I thought looks nice because it makes it look a little more fierce. So you can do that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to use black, and I'm just going to make, you know, the pupil. I'm going to make it smaller. I'm going to outline where the highlight is on the eye, and then I'm going to start outlining this shape itself. And you can even make an outline right here too, if you want to accent that, because the lions is kind of has it outlined. Again, you see the muscles in the face itself. And then of course the white of the eyes. So I encourage my daughter and also the neighbor kid to make certain parts white. So this part we're going to keep white right underneath the eye. This part right here, and I'm just loosely outlining it. We're going to keep this part white. The nose, we can have a nice dark color. It doesn't have to be black. You can choose what color you want it to be. And the reason why you want to keep in mind the darks and the lights is because you want to have some kind of contrast. So I'm going to finish coloring in. And as you see, I'm not completely going off to the same. I'm kind of changing it if I want to. And of course the ears here. Okay. Now we're going to work with some other colors. So we'll have a purple here. You could decide that you don't want to color the whole thing. And when I'm coloring with markers, as you can see, I'm doing it kind of fast, so I'll do it a little bit slower. I use lines next to each other so it fills in all completely. Okay. So here we have, again, dark colors, some light colors. For the eye, I'm going to work with 2 different colors here. And as you know, lion's eyes usually have different colors. Now when you're working with the yellow, be careful, because if you put it close to the colors, other colors, it will change. As you can see, the tip starts to change. So just be careful. You might want to just leave some space between. Okay. So I'm just going to add just a little bit more colors so that you can kind of see what we're going to do next with, let's see, I'm going to make that a little more fierce. So bring that down. There we go. As you can see, it looks a little more fierce now when I do that. We'll have some brown so I can. Another thing you could do is, let's say you make a shape like that. You could decide to, if you're a person who's really into coloring, I might add some blue. A lot of kids like to do that, where they kind of put different colors. Let's do some red. Now here's where the rubbing alcohol comes in. I'm going to take, here I'm dipping it in my cup. Now you're gonna have in the packet, if you did get the packet, you'll have the Q-tip, will have the alcohol on it. I'm dipping it so I can get that. And I'm actually I can let it drop. So you can do a couple of different things with this. You can let it drop onto here. You can also do it where you kind of blend with it. So what happens is it makes it bleed. And making it bleed is kind of creates like a watercolor effect, which is pretty cool. Another thing you could do is you could take, I'm using a paintbrush. So you can take the paintbrush, you get more of the alcohol, and you can just kind of let it drip through. And, oh, I'm sorry, I took it off here. So if you let it drip through, as you can see, what happens is it starts to kind of take the colors and they start to go down. And kind of move it. You can kind of make it move the way you want it to. So I'm also gonna kind of highlight the eyes there because I want that to bleed a little bit. So it creates a really cool kind of effect. You can decide how you want to go about doing that. I also can do that where I can take the color from one area, move it to the next area. If I just want to, create a really light color. So I have, I'm just gonna take my brush. I have that purple, so I'm just gonna bring it down on the hair a little bit. Okay, so now I want to go back to my drawing and add some more colors. I'm kind of staying away from the part that's wet, and I'm just going to keep working on different colors. And the great thing about this too is when it dries, you can go back in here and change, change the color. You can add the color to it. You can basically have a lot of fun with this. So again, art to me, and you can bring it back. So art to me is, a way of experimenting. So you can take, take your piece and just find ways to experiment with this. So try different strokes. I can show you where, if you do a stroke where it has the lines, I'm going to show you that. So let's say I am going to make this part blue, and I'm kind of leaving space in between, as you can see. So it's not, oh, there we go. So you can see that. Versus I'm going to, for this one, make sure I'm doing small strokes. They're kind of quick. I'll do shorter strokes. These are long strokes, but slower. So this side is, you can see, filled in, where this side is not. I'm going to go back to my Q-tip, and I just want you to see, I can then fill it in, the area where I left gapped, and that creates just a different type of effect. So you can play around and have different types of effects with this. Okay. Just gonna bring in some more colors. This part kind of dried, so I can go back in and add some more colors there, so you can see. And you can see where the alcohol is on the nose itself. This part's lighter, this part is darker, so you can create different gradients doing that, where you can maybe start with, coloring in a dark, basically very pigmented color. And then I can take the alcohol and I can take that color and basically bring it down so it's lighter. This orange is not working as well as I want, but you can still kind of see the color going down. Let's try green. That one kind of works a little bit better. There. So you can kind of do a blending with lighter colors because the colors are, much darker. I'm just making a few more strokes and then blending it immediately. And there we go. Do that with this one too. Oh, it has a little bit of the green. And you might think that's not what I wanted, but it kind of then creates a different effect, which I like. So a lot with art is where you can make mistakes, be willing to make mistakes, because a lot of times your mistakes is where you're going to get your best work. You just have to be willing and open to, come up with different techniques and be willing to allow it to do what it wants to do. And if you want something a certain way, then the way that you go about doing that is you can always practice where you do a drawing and maybe you don't really like it as much, but then do another drawing and do another, and then keep going, and then see what your progression looks like from the first time you did it to however many times afterwards. You'll see a huge difference. And I think that's where a lot of people get intimidated by drawing or painting, because they think right away that it has to be perfect, and that's not the case. And that's not how it is with anything, right? You don't just get up and just start knowing how to dance. You have to practice and learn, and the same with art. You have to keep practicing until you get it pretty much the way you want to. And sometimes you may find that you might need to try a different style. Maybe you're not the realistic, approach. There's so many different styles, and you can learn different styles. So with this project, it's nice because you can kind of create it the way you want. Again, my daughter is, she's very much the realistic. So she took her time and made sure that it was, very what she considers accurate, which it is. And then the neighbor kit, his is a little more cartoony, and you can't see all the way at this point because he hadn't finished it, but you can see that it would create a different look, and neither one would be better than the other because you can't really compare them. They're completely different, and that is fine. So if you're working on this as a family, everybody's going to have something different, and that's what's cool about it. I always love working on certain projects with kids and then putting it all together and then seeing the variations of how somebody does. Everyone uses different colors, different, some people work really hard to make their colors dark, and others like it very soft. Some people like, straight lines, a little more, others are more jaggedy. So all of that is something that's awesome about art itself, and it's another way to kind of learn about what you like and learning kind of different techniques. So, well, I'm good. This is going to be me completing, because this is going to take a little bit more time to finish this. I do want you to keep going and try to complete it. And then it's a beautiful piece to hang up in your house. Something else I want to tell you about, in 2 weeks, I'm going to do another class on Saturday. Now, I'm going to do the lion again. However, this time, we're going to be painting on 2 shirts. And that's going to be, you're going to see how we start the same way as far as drawing, but then painting is another thing. Working with strokes and working on a t-shirt is also different than painting on a canvas or painting on paper. So we'll learn how to do that. So I look forward to seeing you then. I also know that there's a survey, so Arts and Large has a survey that you can fill out and let them know how we're doing and how we can improve. So thank you very much for taking this class with me today. I hope you have a good day. Oh, I'm sorry. I should tell you about my website. Okay, so Arts and Large website or just mine? Okay. So my website, and I'm sorry, I have two people here that I talk to. I'm not just talking to myself. So my website is Arts by Aya. So my name is Rozalia Singh, and the nickname for Rozalia is Aya. So it's AYA. So artsbyaya.com. And I'm also on Instagram under Rozalia Singh. So you can find me that way. My name is spelled with a Z. Okay, so think of the singer Rozalia, but with a Z. Okay? And thank you for joining me. Have a good day. Bye-bye.